Hello again, my friend. My beautiful bedroom and beyond beings. Woo! Give yourself a little raise the roof that you're here. Okay. You know what to do. You're gonna like this because obviously you're gonna like this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You're gonna share it to anyone that this resonates with or you feel like could use a little boost. And you're gonna subscribe if you haven't already because I want you to be all informed, okay? Okay, great. So, today's topic, sexually exploring. Okay. So I am deeming myself someone who bridges the gap between being a vanilla, monogamous, whatever, just vanilla. Let's just say vanilla, into, the more extreme end of things like kink and BDSM and stuff. Okay. So I'm not either. I'm somewhere smack dab in the middle. So this is a lot of my own experience. And why I want to talk about this is because I feel like a lot of people are suppressed in the way of oh, I can't do that because I'm this. I believe last week we talked about putting yourself in a box and how that really doesn't work. So I really wanted to touch on this piece around being able to explore your sexuality, your sensuality in a safe and loving way. This is the key. Y'all need to feel safe, especially feminines. Okay, you need to feel safe enough to be able to receive whatever is kind of happening. Okay. And if you're not yet there with your mindset around being able to say yes or no, say you're exploring with a partner, then it's in your best interest to either A, make sure you practice your exploration by yourself first, even if you're in a partnership, because you know your own body first and foremost. You don't have to do the extra step with boundaries and everything else unless you just want to check in. That's a really good idea. Check in with self before you even do just individual play. And the other option is to have someone like myself, hi, who is trained. Okay, so whether that is a somatic healer, a tantra practitioner like I am myself, any kind of sexologist, stuff like that, that would be ideal for you to explore in a safe way if you're really wanting to learn and not fear, if you went to a sex club or you went to a kink party and you're just oh my God, that would be too much even for myself. At a certain point, I'm a little bit better now, of course, as I'm doing my own exploration. And I just wanted to offer this to people to say, it doesn't always look the way you think it's going to in any sense of the word. Okay. Just like a manifestation, you're going to manifest something you truly desire in your heart. And you may have this picture in your mind, but it's doesn't end up being exactly the way you pictured. If not, it's better. Can we just say that? Amen. So it's better sometimes, So this is an absolute rule that I abide by, is never to come in to any new situation or any situation really with an expectation. I am someone who allows you to discover your value system and your standards of life, not even just in the bedroom, but life, how people treat you, what you allow into your world, your boundaries, your communication styles, what works for you, what doesn't. No make wrong, but just get into the what so. So you can feel able to, this is what I need. But then we're going to keep the expectation portion of whatever's going on there low. Why? Because if you don't, you'll get disappointed, for one. And two, if you have a high expectation, especially of others, you're not allowing them to be human. Did anyone ever consider that? It's a very interesting concept. It's I expect you to make me multi-orgasmic and da 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 da. And you've built this all up in your mind. This goes for both males, females, trans, all the peeps. Okay. Masculine, feminine energy here. And then it doesn't deliver in the physical realm the way you anticipated or expected. And then you have all the reasons and considerations of why it didn't work, why you're a bad person, why the other person is just useless, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It snowballs. So to prevent that from even happening, it's like a battle plan before you even get into the trenches. We're going to not go in there with an expectation. Okay. So I am someone who is allowing you to discover what is possible within your boundary, within your desire, within your maybe even a fantasy. Maybe you thought about it. Maybe you're in a 20 plus marriage and you're like, I need to spice this up a little bit. Okay. So if anyone, I don't know if I can say this on here. However, if anyone has watched the Netflix series Sex Life, this is the kind of premise I'm going on. It's like this woman was so suppressed in the sense that, you know, she had this wild, amazing side of her and she had a lover and it was amazing. And then she, for whatever reason, closed that part of her life off to go get married and have children and all the rest. Now she loves her family. Okay. She loves her family. And she, for a certain amount of time, loved her husband as he was. But there was always something missing. Now, I'm curious as to why that actually happens in the real world, where maybe not to that extreme because it's a show, but in some degree, we decide we need to be married with kids and the things and have the family because that's what you're supposed to do. Okay. And then there's this other side of you that's like, I'm just yearning for someone, or even if it is my husband or partner, it's like, I just want them to just be someone else. Okay. You're a mom. You're a wife. You got all this shit going on. Okay. Wouldn't it be amazing to have even a fraction of your life to look like this wild, crazy sexual exploration type of thing? Like, that would be amazing. But we don't have those things because we deny ourselves these things in life. Very interesting. Okay. And maybe that's not your thing. Maybe the monogamy and the marriage and the kids is what you truly, authentically want. And I commend you, because if you're in alignment with that and you're getting exactly what you desire, then you don't need to do anything. But if, and this is a really big if, there is any part of you that yearns for something more than what is in your reality currently, and again, this doesn't need to be in your intimacy realm, then I implore you to explore that. Why? Because you would not have these feelings. You would not have these thoughts about something. Even if you don't know what it is yet, you can just feel it. Maybe feel it in your guts, or maybe feel it in your body somewhere. And you're just like, for fuck's sake, what is this? That is a gentle nudge from your higher self, the universe, God, source, whatever you want to call it, to step into something bigger than you are. Okay. So it doesn't need to look a certain way. Again, this isn't a preach about how you should live your life. This is a space setter for you to discover what is possible, because you don't know what's possible. You've never been given yourself permission to want something more. It is your birthright to want more. It's your birthright to feel alive. Alive, people. That's all we want. I don't want my indication of being alive to be that I have a heartbeat and breathing. That's fine. That's the baseline. I want my indication of being alive to be like, I did things. I'm traveling. I'm having the best sex of my life, whether it's with partner or multiple people or whatever. Maybe I'm bi-curious and I want to get in there with a lady friend and invite them into our little space. That's very sacred, very welcoming. But if you're not ready for that, my friends, my goodness, do not go into the lion's den. You know? It's all good and dandy up in that brain of yours. It's beautiful. But we remember, we need to be responsible for our body responses. If you have this pit of desire to do or want more in some area of your life, let's just say intimacy, because that's what we love to talk about, and you're not setting it up in a safe way, again, the nervous system needs to be neutral. The best way to do that is to be in a relaxed state. Maybe it's some movement, maybe it's some breath work, maybe it's just a beautiful conversation with your partner that makes you feel safe. Affirmations. There's so many options that you can do to get that nervous system down, okay? But at the end of the day, it's like when you want something, there are things that may come up for you, like a trigger or an activation. So say you want to explore something with your husband because whatever. It's like, we stale, we old, we need to do something more. Okay. And you both decided and agreed upon this is a great idea. Now, ladies, I'm looking to you specifically, the feminine energy. Okay. Because we have an emotional element to being sexual. And if we are not clear on the emotion or we suppress our emotions, they could very well come up in that intimate setting and kind of kibotch you. You're all hot and heavy and aroused and you're like, yes. And then all of a sudden, bam, like a freight truck, you get hit with like crying or anger or frustration. And it has absolutely nothing to do with what's currently happening with you and your partner or yourself. So it's in our best interest to regulate our emotions, regulate the nervous system as much as possible. So we are prepared for life, prepared for those moments of hot and heaviness. Because energy or emotions, is just energy in motion. It's just energy in the body. Sometimes it needs to be released. Sometimes it doesn't. Like this is sometimes why we can and cannot orgasm. And it's just like, what would it be like to know yourself so nitty gritty, so tightly that you would know, like, if you were potentially going to have an episode or potentially have a trigger happen in like an intimate setting. Wouldn't that be beautiful to be like, hey, something may come up in this, but I want you to know it's nothing you've done. And this is preemptively, people. This is right before you're about to get intimate, okay? To say, I'm working on this part of myself. You don't even have to explain what that is, but just say, I'm working on this part of myself. And I feel like this could come up when we're trying this new move or exploring our sexuality. And if a man is really a man, he will hold space for that. And ladies, it's in our best interest. We need to preemptively kind of, I don't say warn them, but like just like invite them into that could be a possibility, not as something for them to worry about, but for something to be prepared for. It's like being prepared for battle, okay? You want all the information you possibly can get in order to fulfill on the fantasy, fulfill on the exploration that you're about to embark on, okay? So that is my 2 cents. I'm really diligently wanting these to be short snippets for everyone. And if anyone resonates with what I'm saying, I will do a longer version of this. But at this point in time, I want this to be like a close-knit community where you get the information. Oh my God, that resonates. Let's go take action on that. Figure out what that is, and then come in with, okay, this is what worked, this is what didn't. And, or maybe you're just like, yeah, like, I really, really want to, but I just don't have the courage yet. Can you help me? And this is my work. I want to be able to feel safe, a safe place to even just express it. Even just the first step of expressing it out of your mouth, your throat chakra, your communication center. That is the first step. So you know what to do. I will remind you again because I love you. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. And please feel free to reach out, even if it's a comment. Even if it's a comment, just be like, hey, love to get to know you. Hey, love to talk to you. And actually, I'm probably going to link down below. I'm doing some market research calls, which looks like 15 minutes of market research questioning from me to you just so I can get to know you a little bit better and to know what's relevant of what I'm talking about. And then the next 15 minutes, so it's a half an hour call, the next 15 minutes is pure coaching. You can ask me anything, and I mean anything. It doesn't even have to be about intimacy or whatever. It could be about anything. And I'm offering this to you because the more I get to know you, the better I can serve you, whoever you are. And you're beautiful. So let's go do that. So I will see you in the next one. I'm so freaking excited. Okay. I hope you have an amazing day if you're not already. And if you're not, figure out how to make it happen.